guys, bit of an interim small project. Raided the scrap box, found some bits, most of them pretty tatty, cleaned them up a little bit and made the parts that I wanted. Should be fairly versatile, and it's just a mill table stop, general purpose stop, which I can put more or less anywhere, and probably do a bit more than the specific vice stops I've made. Incidentally, got a new apron, about $6.50. Nice strong denim, amazing value. I was pleased with that. So we'll just run through the various stages involved in case they're of interest, and have a look at the whole thing in detail when we finish. Alright? Alright, mill table stop. Something simple. No great frills. I mentioned, I think at the end of the last video, I've dug out some scrap. This piece of, I think it's 2x2. I didn't, yeah, it is 2x2 by quarter. I might cut that down just a little bit, but the basic principle we've got in mind here is we'll take this piece of 3/4 quarter. Piece I showed you before was 3/4 3/16, but I wanted to make this a bit more robust. So we'll obviously have a hole in here for going onto the T-nut bolt, and then this piece of bar will be drilled. I think we'll probably, I haven't decided yet, we'll take something threaded through and possibly just use a spare locking handle at the back. But the idea is that this can pivot, and then this section we'll put in a slot, which will be clearance, be a 5/16 slot I think, and then the idea is that that will have this, what is this piece, 3/4 by, God, yeah, I've forgotten the sizes now. This is a piece of 3/4, whoops, oh, it is 3/4 by half, I wasn't sure for a second. So if you imagine this is at the top of the slot and this is the pivot point down here, and we'll have a bolt probably going through there. Haven't decided yet, several factors, and then a locking handle there, and then it's rolling around, the probe going through the block here with a set screw, so we can adjust that. That's the basic principle. Things may change on the way. I've started trying to clean this stuff up. It's pretty old, so I'm not going to do any more machining than necessary really. Just try and put it together so we got something functional. So we'll probably see you at the mill. Well, the first hole on the angle is going to be 3/8 for a stud through to a T-nut. Just spotting that one. put a hand chamfer on that when we're done. We've flipped over, spotted it, and I'm just going to put a letter I drill through. I'm going to tap that M8 so I can use one of the plastic knobs. So we'll put some thread in that and thread lock it later. Right, that's about as much as we need on the angle, I think, at the moment. I've still got some cleaning up to do and edge chamfering, but I'll get all the drilling done, I think. Well, I set up my edge finder to get my y-axis on here, and it seemed to have an awful lot of run out for some reason. I tried a wiggler. I also put in plain half-inch edge finder. Didn't like the way it was running at all, and I don't really know what's wrong with the chuck. It has seemed to be very good since I first got it. Anyway, I've put a Jacob style in here. It's an import. It's actually a replacement for the one I first got with the machine. Not perfect, it's got a very slight run out, but it's okay. So I don't know what to do with the other chuck. I'm not sure how to take the darn thing apart. Not that I can see much wrong with it. Anyway, let's press on. I've got the hole here spotted. This will be the pivot hole for the bar, and as soon as I've done that, we've got to mill a slot. So that's basically where we are. Well, this is a fairly new drill, but it's not a very tidy cut at the beginning. I don't know, if it's not one thing, it's another. Anyway, we'll have to take out the chuck out, get some collet set up, and then take a 5/16 down here. I'm just working on the slot. I've taken a couple of plunges each end, and it makes it a little bit easier, I think. Not taking huge cuts. This is only 25. I'm seeing what I can get away with, really. Bit of a bump there. Let's vacuum up the chips and take another pass. Another 25. Yeah, that's the bump as we come up to the plunge. Right, I've got another 3 passes or so, I think, so I'll get on with that and catch you at the end of it. This should clear out the bottom, I think. Right, there's some cleaning up to do, burrs and such like, but at least we're through. One reason I went for the quarter instead of 3/16 is just for rigidity. Well, this is probably going to be quite a bit higher than I need, to be honest, but for versatility it seemed better to go a bit plus than not enough. Probably got to round these ends off. I'll do that on the grinder and belt sander. Otherwise not too bad. Not the cleanest edges, but it wasn't really that good of a cutter. Now the last bit is this little block of 1/2 by 3/4. This end is going to finish up being tapped for the from metric M8 to suit the tightening knobs I've got, and that's going to be 1/4 for the, shall we call it the probe. This is some high-speed cobalt ground stuff. I've got a whole bunch of these. I think this will be long enough, so I'm going to drill just undersize here for the 1/4 and then ream it and start this hole with the same one and then finish it with the tapping drill. Right, I just change over so you can enlarge that one there. Right, that's those two holes. When we've finished here, I've got to do one side hole for the locking knob for the probe, and so I'm going to start a tap in there and ream that out to 1/4. And I've just reamed through here, and I didn't video all of it, it was a bit tedious. I didn't use a chucking reamer because it's a bit long, so I used a regular hand reamer, which took a little while, plus the fact the chucking reamer wouldn't go right through probably. Yeah, that's good. So we're going to put some thread in here, flip this on its side and drill for a set screw. Well, it won't be a set screw. I've found a little threaded knob which I think will do. Right, I just got the tap. Well, I'm almost through actually. I'll finish that by hand, and that more or less finishes that, except for putting some chamfers on, which I'll do by hand. Save changing tools all the time. So finally, from the side, locking screw for the probe, and then some edges, corners and such like to finish off. Right, hole in the side, and I'm going to use this little fella. I'm pretty sure I made this some time ago for something. It actually had a point on the end. I've ground that off because it's longer than I need, and this gives me a bit of contact area, so I think that'll do. But it's my old favourite, quarter BSF British thread. I love it. So I'm just going to put a tapping hole in here, drilling. Right, just got to tap that, and then it's finishing bits. Played safe on that and hand tapped it. I haven't got many BSF taps and dies left, so I've got to be careful with them. Right, well, we've got all the bits. There's the angle, which I cut down a bit. The thread is thread locked in there. Remember, these pieces are all pretty gnarly, so they haven't been fully cleaned up, but as I said earlier, it's functional. So that will go on the T-bolt. Yeah, I'll probably get something shorter than this one at some point. Then we've got the slider, which I decided to use quarter, so it's nice and rigid. I don't know whether this is focusing actually. Yeah, anyway, you can probably see we've got the ends rounded off. The milled surface isn't all that clean actually, but I don't think, as I said before, probably the cutter's not very good. Anyway, it's functional. So we can put that on the, well, let's just do this up. Then we can put the slider on. Plus a knob. I know the bulk of this stuff keeps it a little way off from the vise, but I don't think it'll matter. I could probably change things around, but there again, I think the knob would stick out the back too much and in the way of this, even a shorter one. And then the business end here, this little block, the thread lock hasn't actually gone off yet. So we'll put that. I decided to do it this way round so that the probe is lower. So that's it put together. Actually, you can't even see the top of it, can you? Drop that down. So there's one position, and adjust the probe. This is a bit short, this piece actually. I need to find a longer piece. I think I've got some quarter drill rod somewhere. That's the general thing. They are just another view. I didn't put the extra lights on, not sure what'll happen, it might be too shiny. Yeah, I think it's easier without, isn't it? So there you are, simple bits and pieces, a bit of scrap, and I think that'll suit the purpose sometimes. Alright guys, I've got, hopefully when I get this spiral flute tap I can finish my fixture plate, and got one or two other things in mind, so hopefully we'll have something coming along. Alright, thanks for watching, see you soon.